All right, YouTube, this Detroit's HPTV coming to you out of Detroit, back with another video on this early Thursday morning. I wasn't going to make a video today because I felt some type of way about what's been going on in this country. And it seems like people don't understand the temperature. And the temperature is up a whole nother notch because this individual, this trans individual, unalived 2 children praying at church. One 10, one 8. I have grandchildren that age that go to church with their nana. Now, what bothered me the most and what really made me make this video, one, it was people that were saying that it should have been Trump and not the kids. See, this ideological subversion coming from the left has gotten to a pitch to where if you disagree with a person, you want them unalived. You want to insult them. You want to attack them. They have emboldened people so much that you have immigrants attacking ICE with their flags. Think about that. The immigrants have gotten so emboldened that they protest and are attacking ICE. And I'm going to show you that clip. But they also been saying the Christian right. They have been fear-mongering, calling conservatives fascists, appealing to their lunatic base, emboldening them to attack conservatives. Now, they're in an uproar because Trump wants to go into Chicago and stop the violence there. Of course, you attribute nefarious sentiments to Trump, say he's not doing it because he wants to help. Of course, the liberals make it the worst thing ever. So you have people protesting. But this lunatic attacked children while praying in church. And let me tell you something, you liberals. Trump is actually holding the conservatives back. He's holding his MAGA base back. You don't want to have no conflict with them like you think. You're going to get out there with your rainbow flag and your black women with their loud mouths and stand up against the conservative movement and MAGA? Or will you cry and play victim if the hammer comes down? See, I think that the conservatives, by showing so much restraint in the face of this liberal hostility, that it's emboldened them. I told you, there were people, black women, saying it should have been Trump. Not mourning or grieving for the children, but still with their hatred of conservatives. And the conservatives had a right to not want Kamala and Tampon Tim leading this country. They wanted termination of pregnancy to the 8th month. They wanted to trans your children at school. They wanted to leave the border open for foreign enemies. Nobody wanted that but the liberals. And they're so mad that they lost, they're willing to watch this whole country descend into chaos and violence. But guess what? People like them, Rosie O'Donnell, Ellen DeGeneres, and all the rest of the Hollywood weirdos, They have passports. They're going to flee this country as quickly as possible if something happens on a major scale. They've been telling you they're going to leave, but they're not going to leave until they create enough chaos to watch this country turn into a third world country. And it won't be about race, like the Al Sharptons and the Roland Martins want you to think. They know it will be about ideological situations. You believe this way. You believe you have the right to trans my children. You believe you have the right to leave the border open like a back door for enemies. You believe you have a right to be a traitor and seditious. That's how liberal you've become. And they know, the higher ups, they know that fighting the conservatives and fighting MAGA would not be good for you. You don't have enough unity. You don't even love each other. You won't protect your children. So we supposed to believe that you will actually stand up and organize and fight your government? Or will you sit around and act like you played no part in this madness and this chaos? I look at the comments when I make a video. They attack me with ad hominem attacks, call me a bootleg, say all kind of things. But I'm from Detroit. And I know that when you talk, you're not going to do nothing. And if you approach me with your liberal craziness, I'm going to put belt to ass. And if you wake up one morning and these conservatives are putting belt to ass in your communities, then you're going to virtue signal again and say you didn't mean it. You didn't mean that you wanted to see the commander-in-chief of this country unalived. You didn't mean that you didn't have no sympathy for those children. You didn't mean none of the things that you're saying. But a lot of y'all hide behind the computers and you type and everything is recorded so people know who you are. And these liberals that are inciting you, they know that eventually enough is going to be enough. And somebody's going to get back. And you know, when the get back comes, it's going to be crying, slow singing, and flower bringing. But you're not looking that far down the road because you're so caught up in your feelings and emotions. These liberals have you so emotional that you become heartless and stubborn. But at the core of your heartless and your stubbornness is pure cowardice. We know you cowards. We know you cowards. You were willing to let Kamala Harris, the cars-playing chameleon, an Indian, and Tampon Tim run this country in the ground. So we know you cowards, for real. And we know that you plan on the sympathy of people who should not be sympathetic with you at all, because you have proven to be enemies of the people. And I'm telling you, I was so upset by the mass shooting that the comments that the liberals were making on this channel was infuriating me, because I know they're cowards. I know they're cowards. But what they don't know is I want the gloves to come off. You know, I'm almost 60 years old. What am I do? Wait around for cancer? Wait around for a heart attack or a stroke? What am I waiting on? You cowards cling to life and poke the bear. When there's people out here that are serious in their beliefs and will stand on business with you, And it's coming to that. But you keep running behind listening to these loudmouth black women that the liberals put in front of you because they want to hide behind racism and misogyny. But if kids ain't off limits, then how are they off limits? That's what, see, they're not playing the whole tape out. So I want to show you two clips. I want to show you the first clip where the government is saying that they finna change the law on you. And if you do something based on an ideological disagreement, it's a hate crime or terrorism. And they should come on with it. Pass that law. Because the fear-mongering and the subversion and the traitorous things that you say and the treason at some point has to be dealt with. Because you are inciting these lunatics to strike the children. So without further ado, let's get off into my first clip. This is for fair usage under the 1976 Copyright Act for education and commentary. Listen to this first clip.
Welcome back. Breaking right now, FBI Director Kash Patel just posted on X, quote, "The FBI is investigating this shooting as an act of domestic terrorism and a hate crime targeting Catholics. There were 2 fatalities, an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old. In addition to those lives lost, 14 children and 3 adults have been injured. A bunch of them remain in critical condition. The shooter has been identified as Robin Westman, born Robert Westman." The FBI is going to continue to provide updates on our ongoing investigation with the public as we are able. Let's go ahead and bring in retired NYPD Inspector Paul Morrow, an attorney, also a Fox News contributor. Paul, why do you think they are now pursuing this as an act of terrorism?
Look, they may have some indicia that there was this animus toward a particular religious group, which would make it a hate crime and potentially an act of terrorism if you have a mass shooting carried out for an ideological purpose. That is to say, if you get violence plus an ideological purpose, you get into the terrorism area. But let's be clear, at the federal level, you almost always need some connection to a foreign power. So the hate crime angle relative to this at the federal level is far more likely than it would be a terrorism case. But look, it's good that they're checking the boxing. It's good that they're looking at it that way. And they may have found something. You know, they may have had an interview with somebody who told them this, or they already got into the computer. There may be something there.
Could a terrorism designation kind of give the investigators more resources, or some kind of a benefit in pursuing, whatever information can be gleaned about this?
In a practical sense, in a case like this, it's unlikely that it's going to matter. In a terrorism case, the reason you want that designation as a terrorist entity is because what you get then is that anything that's done in furtherance of that terrorist group, let's just say it's Al-Qaeda for the sake of argument, right, in a different instance, then anything you do that's in furtherance of that, think of it as conspiracy. Anything that you're doing in furtherance of the group is chargeable. And so that's why you like that bigger designation, because it takes you into a sort of a group. And anything you're doing on behalf of the group, like a RICO charge, anything you're doing on behalf of this group ends up being chargeable. But again, at the federal level, and this is why I've been somebody, and people disagree with me on this, and reasonable minds can disagree. I get it, but I have often advocated that we should be looking hard at a domestic terrorism charge, which can be modeled on the state terrorism charges that do exist around the country. And that is simply violence for an ideological purpose. And you don't need necessarily a protected class like a religion or a particular ethnicity, but violence for an ideological purpose, that would get you to a terrorism charge. We don't have that, and so likely I think if the feds do charge here, it'll be more in the hate crime area, unless some fact that we don't know about now comes to light.
Well, and does any of this, not to be crude, but this guy is a murderer, he is now dead. Does it matter?
No. He's dead, so it doesn't really matter in terms of the investigation. Just to be blunt about it, like I said, unless he does end up getting linked to a group. And let's take the terrorism charge out. Let's say he ends up being linked to a domestic group, and let's say a hate group. Well, then it does matter, because what it allows you to do then is to start to scrape into that group.
I'm gonna ask you, you liberal haters, are y'all a group? Because y'all collectively have the same talking points that incite. You use the same propaganda. Say conservatives are fascists and Nazis and y'all want to fight in the street and, are y'all a group? Who's your leader? I looked at some thumbnails today where people were actually poking fun about this because they have Trump derangement so bad that they don't realize that they're leading you off a cliff. Because you sit at home and on Facebook and on your social media and you say things that are being documented that shows that you have a psychological aversion to your government, your country, and your neighbors. You are increasingly becoming a threat. But you don't see it. It's all fun and games until somebody get hurt, ain't it? I know. Let's listen to some more.
You can make it a conspiracy. You can configure it as a group of people who look to do something like this. And what I've been name checking all day is the thing that we had out in California where that guy bombed the fertility clinic. I don't remember his name, and I don't want to say it anyway. But while that didn't end up being a group, we all went away thinking, okay, one and done. That case is over. The guy blew himself up and nothing else to worry about. And lo and behold, a couple of weeks later, they charge a second piece. They're going to go all the way on this because of how horrific it is. You can rest assured, federal, state, local, doesn't matter. They're going all the way.
I want to go ahead now and bring in correspondent Bill Malugin. He's been digging into the details all day. He has also covered many school shootings. It's an unenviable beat to be on. But Bill, Trey Gowdy pointed out on our air earlier today that it seems over and over and over again, these mass shooters are young American men, usually in their 20s.
Yeah, that certainly seems to be the case. We don't really know why, but that's the profile that's being fit in this one as well.
Now, I want you to watch some of the YouTubers. I want you to watch people like Tiffany Cross, Joy Reid. They're going to make it about race. Like in Chicago, there wasn't 4 mass shootings last month. It's a problem with these young people and their mentality, how they think. It was 4 mass shootings in Chicago alone. There was mass shootings in Detroit the month before that because of how people think. But you pay close attention today and you watch how these liberals come out and they make it about race. They're going to make it about white men. Yesterday I showed a video and showed you black men in this country taking each other out. Old ladies getting shot and unalived. 3-year-olds unalived. So it's bigger than race. It's an ideological hatred that's brewing because of the people you listen to. Man, I seen the thumbnail today from a so-called black podcaster that claims to be a leader, but he's not going to get on the front line and do anything. He's going to run and hide. When they come for him and drag him out of his house, he's not going to come out fighting. He's going to come out with his hands up, trying to rely on the very Constitution that he hates.
Just looking at some of the information we're getting about the shooter here, identified as Robin Westman. Fox News obtaining the paperwork that back in 2019, his parents filed in the state of Minnesota to allow him to change his name from Robert to Robin. And on that paperwork, it specifically said it's because he identified.
Enough of that. His parents let him change his name from Robert to Robin because he wanted to identify as a woman. And somebody told him that because conservatives didn't want their children being taught that that was normal, that he should do what he did. I'm gonna end on this story because you're gonna see it all over there, all over the internet today. But let me show you how emboldened these liberals have made the immigrants and these subversive people toward the citizens of America, toward us.
Meet Avocado's best-selling green mattress. Made with certified magical spell. Cops literally beg.
This is Melanie King. Shout out to Melanie King. These liberals, they hate Donald Trump so much and they hate this country so much that they have emboldened foreigners to protest against the government and wave their flags. And when you look at this picture, you don't see a lot of black people. You see these white liberals, these hippies, leading the charge because they want nefariousness and debauchery, not only in their families, they want us to embrace their insanity. Look at this.
People to just follow the law. And one brave hero who thought shoving an officer would end well. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Stick around because this clown show escalates fast and the ending, the ending, you're gonna love it.
Officers responded to the area to move the protest to the sidewalk. Here's what the officers did next.
I'm sorry, can you repeat your last, please? You don't want to go on High Street. That's good, we'll send somebody up. Hey, do you guys want to go up to Ludlow or Maple and block off High Street? Go ahead that way. If they want to walk here, that's fine. They can route down the street here. We just don't want them hitting High Street. They don't want them in High Street. Go to High Street, we'll hold it down here. Get on the sidewalk. On the sidewalk. Gotta get on the sidewalk. Go. We're gonna start hooking people. Get on the sidewalk. Get on the sidewalk. On the sidewalk. Both ways. Go sidewalk. Are you in charge? Are you in charge? Are you in charge? I'm the another person. Okay. Sidewalk. Sidewalk. Go. Sidewalk. Sidewalks. Are you blocking me or what? Are you like blocking me here? Can't hear you. Sidewalk. Get on my way. Sidewalk. Go sidewalk. Sidewalk, please. Go this way. Sidewalk. Back this way. Back to the post. Sidewalk, guys, please. Thank you. Sidewalk. Sidewalk. Hi. 346, 414.
What I want you to see is, look how they are involving their children in the protests against the government, against immigration laws. They're involving their children. Could you imagine a normal person taking their children into a confrontation with the federal government over the law? Look.
Sidewalks, please. You guys are allowed to be doing what you're doing, but you guys stay on the sidewalks, please. Thank you. Sidewalks. We'll go sidewalks, please. What? I'll get on the sidewalk. I'm going to try to pull him back this way. Please do. Please do. Thank you. Please move this way. Can we get on the sidewalk, please? Sidewalk. You guys are allowed to be doing what you're doing. Please go on the sidewalk. Sidewalk. Yes, thank you. Sidewalk. Go. Sidewalk. Guys, get on the sidewalk. Go. Get on the sidewalk. Sidewalk, please. The people sidewalk. United on the sidewalk. Will never be divided. The people divided. Bitch. Oh, you're done. Go, you come here. Sidewalk, go. Sidewalk. Get on the sidewalk. Get on the sidewalk. 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 Kickboxing, bitch. Back up. Get back. Get back. You shut up. Yes. Get back. Get back. Get back. Get on the sidewalk. Please back up. Get on the sidewalk. Go.
The left is finding out that facts matter more than feelings. And
I'm going to stop that there. Because what you're seeing in this country is anarchy. What should be the response from the conservatives? What should be the response for the government? You tell me, how long do you think there will be restraint? You coming at Christian children. The left has united with Muslims, socialists, trans, LGBT, against Christians in the government. Now, Jesus said, suffer unto me the little children, to protect the children from your wicked ideas and from violence. But the left wants the children on the front line. How long do you think there will be restraint before the gloves come off from the right? And I guarantee you the right will move more strategic, more surgical, more organized than this chaos that you're bringing, because Antifa, probably terrorist cells, have integrated into that movement on the left. Who's the real threat to this republic? And I just wanted you to think this morning. Play the whole tape out in your mind. What do you think's going to happen next? What do you think? Wow, the Roland Martin types and the Al Sharptons and the Joy Reids fearmonger you and race bait you into a head-on collision that won't be about race. It'll be about ideas. It'll be about the country. See, the biggest fear that the left had is that black men from the working class would unite with white men from the working class and stand up in defense of their country. Then what will you say? When you look across the aisle and it's all colors of Americans wanting you to receive justice. Liberals. And this is Detroit's HPTV coming to you out of Detroit. Like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel. As always, keep your head on a swivel and salute to all patriots. Peace.